The other thing is last night in the Monday night game, we saw another example of something that's become a trend in the NFL. The league and their offensive offsides calls. Okay? Peter King did a story about this and basically wrote about the offensive offsides call against Denver right guard Quinn Meneres in the Detroit game. They're on the 1 foot line. Said the call was nonsensical. But he said, I don't blame the official. I blame the senior VP of officiating who's emphasized the cleanliness of the line of scrimmage that he spooked his officiating roster and forced people like Frank LeBlanc, who was the down judge, to over-officiate what's already an impossible game to call consistently. In trying to handle, this is from Peter King, in trying to handle the tush-push play, which has seen players on both lines crowd the line of scrimmage so much that violations could be called on virtually every quarterback sneak try now, the league has created a dangerous cocktail. The league of office hates this play, but very likely won't outlaw it because it's not causing injury and would seem to be unfairly picking on the team that's virtually perfected it, Philadelphia. Instead, the league has leaned on the line of scrimmage adjudications, the down judges, to call this penalty no one had heard of a month ago, offensive offsides, an attempt to gut down on the mayhem at the line pre-snap on the tush push. Okay? So they're calling offensive offsides because of the tush push. Last night, they called a false start when Philly had a 3rd and 1. They called a false start on Jason Kelce, the center. And Kang, I showed you the replay. The ball was the near tip of the football, the rear tip of the football was on the 4. He picked it up and put the other tip of the football on the 3. He almost got an entire yard. So the back of the football was basically touching the 4. He picked it up and the front of the football was touching the 3. And he got down in his stance ready to snap. He moved the ball forward almost an entire yard. And the official threw the flag and said false start. Now, during the game, they didn't know what the call was for because false start, people are looking for movement. But I'm sure each and every one of you out there has seen a football get moved by a center before. They basically spread their legs and the ball
crouch down,
yeah, and then move the football forward, resetting the line of scrimmage. And on the tush push, they're super sensitive to this right now. And they hit Jason Kelce with a false start.
Well, a couple things. I think all centers do this, but if it's egregious enough, I think that's where this, like, if you're moving at a full yard, all right, the ref's like, I got to do something here. But everyone's going to move the ball a little bit. Another thing is Jason Kelce came out today or last night and said that, hey, they've been warning me this for a long time, so I'm not surprised. So he wasn't bitching about it. He understood it. Thirdly, Doug, they officially called it a false start. To me, that seems like more unsportsmanlike conduct. Like the play hasn't, I don't know, maybe that doesn't really matter if the yardage is the same.
Right.
But because you can't move the ball whether you're defense or offense. The ball is supposed to be where the ball is supposed to be. Like if a defensive tackle kicked that ball or moved it back, they would have called unsportsmanlike. I don't think they would have called offsides. They would have called unsportsmanlike.
I guess.
And the funny thing is, like you mentioned, you saying that sources are saying the league doesn't like this play. I've brought this up many times. It's all about entertainment value and viewership with the tush push, okay? So if the league doesn't like it, basically, if the fans don't like it, they would get rid of it. The league doesn't feel like they have any grounds necessarily to change it right now because it's just one team that's really good at it. And like you said, it's maybe too punitive to that team who's actually good at it. But now they're going to crack down on, hey, you're going to do it, but you're going to do it legally.
We're going to get into the absolute minutia of this rule so that you can't bend the rules in any way. I mean, so John Perry was the ESPN NFL officiating dude, and he confirmed on the broadcast that it was correct in their assessment that was a false start for moving the football. And yeah, I mean, I hate the play. And it's not, I just think it's a boring watch.
Well, that's where my comment about entertainment value comes in. If viewership is down or they hate the play, and not people like you hate the play, I think they would end up getting rid of it because just like hack-a-shack in basketball or the shift in baseball, if it's not entertaining anymore, if this is just like, what are we doing out here? Yep. They'll change the rules because guess what, guys? This is a game where they change rules, okay? It's entertainment. So in football, until I think it becomes to the point where this isn't football, people don't like it, they would change it. I don't. They're not at that point right now. So, and maybe the Eagles are the only one that really can do this.
All right, well, there you go. So that's the latest in the tush push drama and how they're making rulings. 248-539-9797. Okay,